So you get a full night's rest but still wake up feeling like you got hit by a bus. But you get up anyway, you go get some breakfast, you drink your daily caffeine, and right when you have to get to the important stuff, your daily slump hits. And it seems to last all day until it's actually time for you to go back to bed. And this frustrating cycle just keeps looping around every single day. That was me every single day throughout high school and even into college. At first I thought I was just bad at managing my time or I just wasn't disciplined enough, but here's the truth nobody tells you. You're not lazy, unmotivated, or burnt out. What's actually happening is your brain actively working against you. Think about it, your brain makes over 35,000 decisions every single day. What you should wear, what you should eat, if you should scroll on Instagram one more time, or start that assignment that was due last night. All those tiny choices actually pile up and drain you. That's why you can wake up having slept enough hours, but still feel absolutely exhausted by 10 a.m. But did you know tiredness isn't always physical? It can also just be an emotion. Your brain is pressing the tired button on purpose because it's trying to conserve energy when it thinks the work ahead is too overwhelming. That's why just opening your laptop or seeing a Canvas assignment from your teacher can automatically make you want to go take a 3-hour nap. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through 5 hidden mistakes that could be secretly draining your energy, and the simple fixes that'll help you finally feel more awake, focused, and like yourself again. Now let's get into the science. Your brain chemicals, specifically glutamate and adenosine, play a massive role in why you crash during the day. Every time you make a decision, your brain uses a chemical messenger called glutamate. The problem is, after too many decisions, that glutamate actually starts to pile up. And when your brain is clogged with too many things to do, everything feels harder, slower, and way more exhausting. On top of that, there's another chemical called adenosine. This one is your body's natural sleep timer, and it builds up the longer you're awake. Normally by nighttime, it tells your body, hey, it's time to rest. But here's the kicker. Caffeine actually blocks that signal. So while you're sipping your latte and feeling more awake, all that adenosine is still stacking up in the background. And the second your coffee wears off, that's when the wall of exhaustion hits, aka the dreaded afternoon crash. And you probably didn't know this, but caffeine actually has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours. That means if you have a latte at 4 p.m., a quarter of that caffeine is still floating around in your system at 10 or 11 p.m., making it way harder for you to fall asleep. So you may be wondering, okay, now I know all this, but how do I fix it? Well, here's the good news. You can 100% hack the cycle. And it's not about doing more. It's about setting your brain up so that it doesn't have to drown in endless decisions every single day. So the first thing you want to do is reduce decision overload. And what this means is instead of waking up and stressing about what to eat, what to wear, or whether you should go to the library or stay home to study, I will make those decisions the night before. For example, I'll decide which assignment I'm tackling first thing in the morning and drop all those files into a folder on my desktop. That way, when I wake up, I'm not debating what I should do, I just open my laptop and start. The second thing you want to do is time your caffeine smarter. So instead of chugging caffeine the second I get up, I wait until mid-morning around 9 or 10 a.m. That way, it powers me through my most productive hours and I don't crash hard later. And after 12 p.m., I completely cut off caffeine and stick to water or green tea. And number 3 is take micro naps. A 15 to 20 minute nap in the afternoon can be just what you need to reset your system. Here's a little trick. If you haven't drank any coffee yet throughout the day, then drink a little bit before your nap. By the time you wake up, the adenosine has cleared and the coffee has kicked in. This is called a coffee nap, and honestly, it's like a cheat code. Now we have an issue that no one really talks about, and that is sometimes your brain makes you feel drained and exhausted before you've even started the task. And here's the twist. It's still chemical, but it's triggered by your thoughts and not your actions. And yes, tiredness can be an emotion too, and I will explain why. A lot of time when we say, I'm tired, what our brain really means is this task is going to take up way too much effort for too little reward. To fix this, you need to shrink the mountain, meaning break the task into smaller, more manageable sections. Instead of telling myself to write the entire essay, I'll reword that and just tell myself, write the first paragraph, or just read the directions. Or instead of study for the exam, I'll tell myself to just do 5 practice problems. Once your brain actually sees the progress, that fake tiredness will dissipate as quickly as it came, and you will actually start building momentum. And most of the time, you'll even finish the task. The next mistake you could be making that are really sabotaging your energy levels is something everyone knows to pay attention to, but it's often overlooked. What you eat, when you eat, and even how much you eat can make or break your energy levels. So here's the classic mistake. You're running low on time, so you grab a Starbucks coffee and a cake pop. You feel fine for half an hour, but then you crash hard. That combination of coffee and straight sugar spikes your insulin levels and then sends it plummeting, leaving you feeling more tired, foggy, and craving even more carbs. Instead, swap the cake pop for something that won't tank your energy. And you can also meal prep it the night before to ensure it'll be ready for you in the morning. But food isn't just about what you eat, it's also when and how much of it you eat. A lot of us skip breakfast, have processed sugar-loaded snacks throughout the day, and then dig in your freezer for leftover pizza for dinner because you're too hungry to actually make something nutritious. If you relate to this and still don't understand why you're always so tired, your answer's right there. The problem is, your body needs to be winding down at night, but because you ate that so-called girl dinner, it's now going to be using all of its energy on digesting the food rather than allowing you to rest and sleep. On the opposite end, the same goes for overeating in one sitting. Have you ever finished a giant bowl of pasta or ate way too much Chipotle and suddenly feel like you need a 3-hour nap? Doctors actually call this postprandial fatigue, which is a fancy way of saying food coma. Your body is diverting all its energy to digestion rather than keeping you alert. So if there's one thing you can do to stop feeling tired all the time, it's aim for well-balanced, smaller meals throughout the day. Stop constantly snacking on junk food and stop eating super late at night. But whatever you do not skip meals. You're not saving time or being disciplined. You're sabotaging yourself to feel cranky and exhausted for the rest of the day. On top of that, skipping meals almost always backfires. When I used to do that, I would overeat so much at nighttime and wake up feeling more bloated than ever. And I was also slowing down my metabolism, which took me years to recover. And if you do have a huge craving for carbs, just like me, instead of eating them by themselves, pair them with a protein and a vegetable. For example, if you like toast, you can add eggs on the toast. And if you like pasta, why not add some chicken and vegetables in your pasta? And you might be wondering, Meg, what if I don't have time to make meals for myself or get them because I have back-to-back classes? Well, this is what snacks are for. But instead of chips, candy, or cookies, opt for things like Greek yogurt with fruit, apple slices with peanut butter, or even a sugar-reduced protein bar. These kind of snacks give you protein, fiber, and healthy fats that helps your brain stay focused so your energy doesn't ditch you halfway throughout the day. Trust me, when you feel your body properly, you will be astounded by how much more energy you have. Okay, this last mistake might surprise you because with hustle culture, it is rarely talked about, and that is your circadian rhythm, which is also called your internal body clock. When you stay up late scrolling on TikTok, binging Netflix, or lying in bed running through tomorrow's to-do list, your brain doesn't actually know it's nighttime. The blue light from your screen tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime and that it has to stay focused and alert, which means your brain won't be producing much melatonin, which is the chemical that actually helps you fall asleep. This in turn causes cortisol, which is a stress hormone, to spike, which can lead to things like puffiness under your eyes, swelling in your face, and make you much more prone to mood swings and brain fog. So there are many ways to fix this. One is to cut screens before bed. Aim for at least 30 to 60 minutes of no screens or laptop time. You can switch to journaling, meditation, or just anything that's relaxing for you. Make self-care a non-negotiable the same way you'd brush your teeth. And if you have to be on your computer, use blue light filters or blue light glasses. But did you know the timing of your sleep matters just as much as how many hours you sleep? You can sleep 6 hours and feel completely fine. But if you sleep the same 6 hours from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m., you'll probably feel absolutely destroyed. This is because everyone has a natural chronotype, meaning some of us are morning people and some of us are night owls. The goal isn't forcing yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. if that isn't you. Instead, try keeping a loose routine that aligns with your natural rhythm and daylight. For me, I learned this the hard way during finals week at Georgia Tech. I'd stay up till 4 a.m. studying and then go to sleep until 10 a.m. thinking, oh, I still have 6 hours of sleep, I'll be completely fine. But no, I was groggy, cranky, and couldn't focus on anything during my exam, even though I technically slept enough. Once I started shifting up my study sessions and actually started winding down at night, my energy got so much better. And I know going to bed before midnight sounds absolutely impossible when you're working super hard or when you're in college, but even moving up your bedtime by 1 hour can significantly improve your mood and energy levels. A few other things to implement when resetting your internal clock is getting real sunlight in the morning. Even 10 to 15 minutes outside helps you wake up. The second thing is to make your room sleep friendly. And by this I mean keeping it dark, quiet, and cool at night when you're sleeping. For me, a sleeping headband that could play white noise or rain sounds was a game changer. It blocked out any dorm noise that could distract me and helped me feel well rested every single day. So if you've been blaming yourself for always feeling tired, stop. You're not weak or unmotivated. You're literally living in a world that your brain and body weren't designed for. But now that you understand why this happens, you can start working with your body rather rather than against it. And I know it's super hard to implement change, but I promise you, if you follow these steps, you will not feel tired for long. So here's my challenge for this week. Pick one thing. Maybe it's fixing your caffeine timing, maybe it's meal prepping, or even just stepping outside first thing in the morning. And just observe how you feel. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe to keep learning more about how to improve your life. And if you want, drop a comment telling me which tip helped you the most. And as always, I am so proud of you and I love you guys so much. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye! Mwah.